Music. It's not just part of our daily lives, it's part of our wrestling fandom as well, and it has been for decades. That's where this show comes in. Music of the Mat, the podcast devoted exclusively to the music of pro wrestling, hosted by Andrew Rich. Hey, that's me. Each episode delivers a different topic with a variety of great guests, fun conversations, musical analysis, and of course, a heartfelt pun or two. New episodes drop every other Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast app of choice. Check out Music of the Mat only on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm John, joined by Damon McDonald. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of April 2024. This is episode 304. Thank you listeners for bearing with me with the technical issues last week. Internet should be okay this week, but I do have a 2-year-old boy who is not quite asleep and was making cat noises in the bed behind me. It's my fault. I let him have a nap after our trip to the park today, which I probably shouldn't have done. Just anytime they're napping sort of past 4 o'clock, then you know that you're sabotaging your bedtime there. But it is Easter holiday, so we will make do. And he's in his brand new bunk bed. I got a new bunk bed, Damon, from IKEA. We're doing a bit of the old flat pack furniture assembly.
Nice. Look at you. You put it together yourself?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
We may have improved audio. I think with this extra piece of furniture in the room, there might be less of an echo. I don't know, but yeah, I quite enjoy doing the IKEA furniture assembly. It took me about 4 hours, but I quite liked it. You know, put on a few podcasts and get down to it. It's like doing sort of like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Oh yeah,
you a fan?
You know who's really good? Cheryl is unbelievable at it. Like anytime we get furniture from IKEA, I don't know if she wants to, but she is I don't know. And she does it, I would say she's got like an 85% success rate of doing it right the first time. You know how like you always fuck it up and you have, the screw's got to be this way. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you got to follow the directions to the letter.
I ended up bending a screw.
Right.
We're trying to do something myself that I shouldn't have done myself and dropped a bit, and then I had a wonky screw. So yes, I vibe with that.
Yeah, but she can nail it in the first time, like right out of the box, following the directions. She lays everything out. She has everything in little piles. She's very good at that. Like she's very talented at that. Me, on the other hand, I stink. I am the worst. I'm looking at these directions and I'm like, I'm doing it right. No, you got to have the groove this way. You see how the groove is out? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, but she's very good at it. And truth be told, I think there's a IKEA that's right near our house on the Philly side.
Do you like the IKEA food? I love the IKEA.
It's not bad. You know, all things considered, it is. Yeah, it's not not terrible. It's pretty like the breakfast is pretty good. You know, and cheap, relatively cheap. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't expect that at
meatballs.
Yeah, meatballs are good too. Yeah. Do you have so in ours we have like a like when you check out, there's like an ice cream stand?
Yeah, there's like a little, so there's a restaurant bit and then there's a little cafe bit right by the exit where you can get ice creams and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Right.
But when I went, I was quite unwell. I had a really bad sore throat, so by the time we finished up, I was just not able to swallow or speak. And Esther had been asking me for this little stuffed cat toy, which I bought for her. And I was just sitting down on this sofa waiting for Mally. I don't know what the fuck she was doing. But sort of sitting there, slumped on this sofa, wishing that I was unconscious. And then one of the staff came up to me and was like, excuse me, sir, it's your daughter there playing with the stuffed animal. Have you got a receipt for that?
Oh, no.
And Yeah, I know. I was so annoyed. I didn't even look at him. I couldn't muster the energy to make eye contact with this man. So I just picked up the receipt and just sort of kind of flung it in his direction. It's probably extremely rude, but I was not in the mood for it. So I was just like, I didn't even speak to him, didn't even look at him, didn't even acknowledge his presence. Just sort of waved the receipt at him. And
rude Joel,
that was
rude Joel.
Yeah. You know what IKEA trips are like? It's very tiring.
It
especially
is.
when you've got two young children. And they loved it. It was their favourite place because every single sort of showroom bit they went to, they're sort of role-playing a little family situation, doing a bit of play cooking or getting in the showers and lying in the beds. It's an absolute blast for them. But,
yes. We we go quite often. It's near us. It's it's even like a decent spot. Like even if you just wanted like inspiration for a room or just you always walk out with something. But even if you're just walking it for just to kind of be like, all right, we got this extra space, and what the fuck are we gonna do with it? Yeah, but for the kids, I mean, do you have the ball pit? We got a ball pit.
There was a big soft play thing, but it was closed when I was there because it was about half an hour before closing time, so it didn't get to go there that time.
I like their little office supplies. Like I have this, I'm tapping it right now. It's like a pegboard, and then you can get like all these little accessories, like these little hooks and like little storage bin things, and I have that. I have a lot of stuff actually from IKEA. Like, and you know what else they have that's really good? Their picture frames. I like uniformity with my picture frames, and I like them. Like, I like those. What else? I'm looking at my office. I have a lot of shit from IKEA actually. I think the desks are from. I want to say, yeah. I mean, yeah. We definitely love it. We love it. Yeah, I just like the fact that like you can just buy little knick-knacky things that you think, like it's good for like office supplies, and it's like like desk accessories. That's my favorite section. That and the books that like the books that are on the shelves, like pretending they're supposed to be there, like for show, and at least in ours. And I challenge anyone who does go into an IKEA, look for the books, that they have in like the living room or whatever, and they'll just have like a random assortment of books. A guy Mats Mats Olson is an author who has 1 million books in IKEA, and I wonder if it's in every single IKEA or just the Philadelphia one, because we always say, I don't know why Mats Olson is like a thing in our house.
Did you open them? Are they in English or Swedish?
Swedish. They're in Swedish.
Okay. I wonder what it is. I bet it could be absolute filth. Just like
right.
Hardcore pornographic fiction.
Yeah. That'd be maybe it's like New Japan fan fiction. It's talking about how fucking
But we must make sure we get Mats Olson's blessing before we read out his Swedish erotica wrestling fan fiction on the air.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be making that mistake again, Damon.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that hassle anymore. We don't want to offend those peeps. What a creative outlet to be able to just write a sexual fantasy. Well,
I'll tell you what the future is, Damon. It's AI generated erotic fiction where you can give it a prompt, and set the scene, give you outline your characters and setting and stuff, and then that can do all the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, I want Terry Gordy and Steve Williams to blow Tiger Mask. That's gonna be my prompt.
You've laid down the gauntlet there. Let's see if the AI is up to the task.
Yeah, I think they'll be good. Steve Williams from Oklahoma, and Terry Gordy.
But do we need to get their permission before we?
I don't think so.
We don't, do we? No.
No. I mean, I don't think so.
So
right?
It's funny that you can write erotic fiction about a real person without their permission and upload it to a public forum.
Yeah.
And that is considered okay.
Right. It's weird, isn't it?
It's not okay to hide it. I mean, I'm not. This is not me putting them on blast. It's just it's just an interesting
dichotomy. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Just so.
Thank you very much. Right. Well, look, it is, as I was telling Joe, WrestleMania weekend here in Philadelphia. The city is getting very excited.
Damon's desperate for a WrestleMania ticket, but he can't afford one. So if anyone can hook him up,
No, I don't know if I'm
he
desperate
wants
for
to
one.
see Cody finish the story.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. But I do, like I said, I kind of want to be there in the sense of just to be there, right? Just to be in the building. But as I was explaining to Joel, I don't know half of the people that are on that roster. I really don't. And the storylines and the feuds and whatever, it's just I don't know who's doing what to who at this point. That being said, I don't know. It seemed like it would be fun just for the event itself. But I do have a lot of ancillary shows in the area. Of course, I thought I was listening to Rich Craich, and I apologize, but I forget who he was doing the show with. But they were doing like a WrestleMania weekend recap with all these shows in the area, and it's like, okay, I might go to that one. I might go to that one. There's like 500. What did I hear? Like, not 500. It can't be like. There's a lot of fucking shows, right? There's shows tonight. There's shows tomorrow afternoon. There's tomorrow night. So I'm going to the Hitchcock show, which usually is pretty good, and the lineup looks pretty interesting, actually. And I told you I got like front row for that. Unbelievable. And then I was like, well, I'm not doing anything Friday night. So I hit somebody up, and they said they had an extra ticket. So I got to meet this person that I've never met before outside of the venue and see if I have a ticket. And then I got to exchange money. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm in the building or not for that one. And then, of course, WrestleCon. And
Or in the trunk of somebody's car.
right, that might be a better night. Who knows? What pisses me off, Joel, is I got a text from our good friend Jeff, the guy that has he goes to all these fucking New Japan shows all over the country. Every time I'm at a show, he's there. It's unbelievable. He was at the Chicago meetup. He was at 2300 in Philly. Just a random I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I like it. All right. He sends me this text out of the blue. And let me see if I can grab this picture, if I could. Sends me this picture of a familiar face. Let me do this here. Well, let me go here. And there you are right there. And send. And let me know when you get that.
Yes, I thought it might be
You believe
our
it?
friend of the show, Jushin Thunder Liger. There he is with the boots.
Those boots, those very boots that he has in his possession, like he owns those. I'm like, oh, let me tell you something. Can you just leave me those things if you ever pass away? Just send me those. Yes, he was. But so here's the thing. So Liger was at this convention in Indianapolis, right? And I was like, how is he not at WrestleCon? If he's here, he's in the country. The hard part is over. I'm like, are they going to announce him, as a surprise guest or just whatever to WrestleCon or whatever, right? No, I saw him tweet something saying that he's back home. I'm like, fuck, you were in India, he was. If you can see in that picture to the left, Ultimo Dragon's there, and that'd be one guy I'd see again. I saw him once. That would be one guy I would see again. But I'm like, he's going to be at WrestleCon. Right next to them was Tajiri and Sonny Ono and fucking I don't know who else. And I'm like, everybody, all those other people are going to be at WrestleCon, but not Liger. I was just like, what the fuck? I miss him so much. Love to see him, but no. Fucked again. he was saying, Jeff was saying, like, yeah, the bar the night before, they were all all those guys, and Eric Bischoff were sitting at a table having some drinks. Sans masks, no masks. They were. I would have loved to have a picture of that. Ultimo Dragon, Tajiri, Liger, and fucking Eric Bischoff. What a crew! Seriously,
that's a podcast I'd listen to.
Me too. I'm like, wow, that had to be something. Having a couple of beers.
I was just imagining like Liger sticking around for WrestleMania and trying to go incognito, but they're like the full gear, full mask and everything, but with like a hood over the over the mask, maybe something like sunglasses. Yeah,
yeah, that would be hilarious. I'm just surprised he went back home. He could have made a good fucking bundle off of all those guys and gals just waiting to piss their money away. Me being suspect number one. Oh, boy. Oh, well, what are you going to do? So I'm trying to think, like, so I never met Flair, and he's there, and I'm like, all right, $70. For $70, would you get a little handshake, a little picture?
You can say something else there. Like fills me mind with the gutter.
And, a little salad tossing. Ric Flair, would you pay $70 for a meet and greet Ric Flair? No. Is that a no?
Nah, I don't think I would.
Okay. I might. Again, I've never had the pleasure, and he's gonna, he's up there in age, right? So I kind of feel like I'm kind of like, maybe I do. Ultimate. There are some All Japan women representatives. Aja Kong is going to be there, of all people. I thought that was pretty wild, so I might actually break down and get that one. But these shows are so fucking weird. Our IWGP World Women's Champion will be on hand. There's a Stardom show. I will not be at the Stardom show. I have to work.
Who's that?
I don't even know who it is. Isn't it? Look it up. You'll have to Google it. But I did Google it. But then at the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey, which is a short distance from my home, there's like a whole show, and like she's going to be there, and Aja Kong's going to be there. I don't think she's wrestling, but I'm like in this little tiny venue in Paulsboro, I get to see, maybe if I go to the show on Sunday, some pretty historic, legendary figures when it comes to the world of Japanese pro wrestling, I would say. I thought, yeah, all right, when the fuck am I ever going to get the opportunity for that one? But anybody else is like Onita, I already have. I'm trying to think of like anybody else. Ultimo Dragon, I said. I mean, there's really nobody else that I'm really that jonesing for. I said Dawn Marie last week, and I would just want to see if she recognized me, if she remembered who the fuck I was. That's about it. We'll see. It should be a good time. Should I take pictures while I'm there? Send them to you?
Yes.
All right.
I was going to say you can live tweet your experiences, but no, you're not allowed.
No,
I can't do that.
I can't do. Well, listen. I won't have
if
any.
you have
beer.
any particularly cool photos, I'll share them.
Okay. And maybe I'll chuck them up on the Discord. I'll just chuck them up. And
yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good compromise.
All right, let's do that. I'll do that. I'll give you a little on the ground WrestleMania weekend, and we'll go from there. How about that? But that's about it when it comes to New Japan. Like, oh no, I take that back. Our boy Dolph, don't call me Nick, Ziggs is on the show. Who's he wrestling? Maybe I should look it up. Do
you think you might be able to goad Matt Riddle into an unsanctioned defense of his NJPW World TV title in a car park or something?
He's on the show. Let me see if I can get the lineup here. Why is everything so difficult? WrestleCon. That's not what I want. Give me 1 second, Joel. This is good radio. Trust me. People are loving it. So there's the guest. Let's go back to the homepage. And let's do the show, shall we?
You're listening to Damon Looks Up Wrestling Cards.
I'm a moron.
We get a stinger for this from Andrew, maybe?
Yeah, we probably do. Yeah. Damon Googles. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless. 2024. Okay.
Do you want some more incidental music?
Sounds like a match game.
Yakety sax.
All right, here we go. I got it. Okay, so we got Nick Nemeth versus Joey Janela. We have Rob Van Dam against Mike Bailey. We have Masato Tanaka against Josh Alexander. We have here it is. We knew it was happening. The Philadelphia Street Fight. Of course we have to have that. Sami Callihan, former NJPW didn't they say they didn't want him back after he was kissing?
He was kissing people.
Yeah.
he was Death Juice, wasn't he? Him and Juice Robinson in the World Tag League.
Yeah. Against Paul Walter Hauser. I don't know who Paul is. He like a actor? He's an actor. Yeah, he was the guy that was you ever see the Sunny episode where Charlie's the janitor and he's trying to take care of the kid who's like into ICP and he's like in the clown makeup? That's him.
No, I've never watched Sunny, I'm afraid.
All right, well, that's this guy. So I don't know why he's involved. All right, now let me give you this. 10-man tag team match. Team CMLL against Team Dragon Gate. So Averno, Cavanaro, Mystico, Star Jr., Volano 3 Jr. versus Ben K, Dragon Kid, Kota Minoura, and Sean Skywalker and Yamato.
I like Sean Skywalker.
Me too. Well, that's what
I'm Sean.
I swear to God, it says Sean, and I read it. I'm just reading it. Yeah, and Yamato.
Shane Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. That should be pretty great, right? That should be pretty great. The full-blooded Italians from ECW fame of Little Guido, Tommy Rich, and Tony Mamaluke versus Los Borricos, Jose Estrada, Miguel Perez Jr., Savio Vega, and Michael Oku making an appearance in Philadelphia as the champion, as the defending his Rev Pro undisputed British Heavyweight Championship against Teton. That's not bad, right?
It is bad because Michael Oku's bad, but yeah.
He's not that bad. He's okay. He's good. He's fine. That'd be good. I think that'd be good. That's not a bad.
I certainly wouldn't choose that for a honeymoon activity to go and watch Michael Oku or see Michael Oku. Not appropriate.
I don't think so. I mean, but I don't know a maniac that would do something like that. That's preposterous. And tweet it several times. I don't know anyone who would do that. Oh, Lordy Lou. Lord Lou, making friends wherever we go. So that's not a bad show, right?
You're listening to The Bullying Corner with John and Damon.
Yes. That's not a bad show, right? I think it's a good show.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So
I heard crickets.
I'll go to it.
There's a long pause there. You don't think it's a good show?
It's fine. It is. It's I would watch it if I was there.
Okay.
No problems with you going. You have my blessing to go and enjoy the show and give us a full report on next week's pod.
All right. And Matt Riddle is on the show, but against a person who has not been yet to be named. So we'll see if he defends the TV title there when he's not supposed to be, which is so funny. All right. So I guess you have an agenda, huh? Yeah, I guess you have a game plan for today, what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. In Ring Art says he's got two questions. Uh-oh. He says you need an NJPW wrestler to perform a circumcision on you. Who do you pick? Second question, what did you think of Arsenal's performance against Man City? I don't want to answer the first question. That's disgusting. Even by our low standards, I have no desire to answer that question. But I'd love to talk about Arsenal against Man City for a bit.
All right.
Did you see any of this? See any? I use the word highlights. I'm doing big inverted commas with my hands.
Well, you guys won, right?
No, it was a 0-0 draw.
Oh. All right.
Which I was very pleased with. And all the neutrals said it was the most boring match ever. And they're probably right, but I found it absolutely thrilling. Because obviously I had that emotional investment. And the guy I was watching, I called it exactly before it started. I was like, this is going to be really, really boring and we're going to love it. And everyone else is going to say it stinks. But I thought it was a tactical master's plan from Mikel Arteta to nullify the potent City attack.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I know it's the cliche of like, it's like a game of chess, but there are all these little tweaks. Guardiola changes something for City, and then Arteta has got to change it and respond to it to nullify the new attacking threat. I don't always notice everything that is going on in a tactical sense because I'm not that clever, but I like having it explained to me afterwards, and I found it very exciting just seeing us executing that defensive game plan and keeping out Man City, which I think is a really great achievement that we've not allowed them to score against us in the two Premier League fixtures this season, which is I think quite an achievement and speaks volumes about the progress we've made in terms of our defence and our tactics. Whereas before we would last season we got turned over 4-1 at City and 3-1 at home to City, and so conceded 7 goals to them. This season, in 2 matches, we conceded 0 goals to them. So I think that's worth celebrating.
Yeah. Where was this at? Where was this played?
At City.
See? You take that as a win. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. I was really, really happy with it. And especially because our best attacking players were not fully fit. So it's not like I don't think you can throw us under the bus for showing a lack of ambition because our best players were just not at the races. They were not up to it. I think you got to play with the hand that you're dealt, and we had a strong defence and an attack that was not 100% coming out of the international break, and I absolutely 0 complaints with the tactics for that.
Okay, but other people are saying it was terribly boring. Like, let me ask you this: if did it involve the team that you have an emotional investment in? If it were fucking, I don't know, if it were I'm just picking a team. Everton and fucking Chelsea. Would you say the same things as you're saying now?
I would say it was boring. And I'm not saying the people that are saying that said it was boring are wrong. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, everyone, it's a subjective thing. But for me, as an Arsenal fan, and I think most Arsenal fans would have derived some drama and excitement from watching that because it was a huge game for us. It was a must not lose game to keep us in the title race. We are top at the moment, but Liverpool have a game in hand. There's 9 games left, I think, or it might be 8 games left for us now. And it looks like it's going to be really close this year.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm in. I'm in on the Arsenal. I'm in on the Gunners. I'd like to have you'd have that win. I think you would. It would just give you it would elevate your spirits. Not that they're down, but just take you to another level. You know what I mean? Like it would take you to another level. I want that for you. I want that for you. Yes, and I like the fact that City loses or ties or doesn't score a goal. That's fine by me. I'm good with that one. Okada can go fuck himself. It was bandwagon bullshit.
There was a good tweet from Gabe Kidd. I don't know if you saw it after his team, Nottingham Forest, beat Fulham, which of course is owned by Tony Khan. Mm-hmm. There was a very funny tweet. I can't remember what it was. I'd have to check my retweets because I retweeted it because I love the Gabe Kidd banter, even if it's not for everyone. But it was just lots of crying face, laughing emojis saying, "Hold that L, TK," which I like. I like that. That's good.
Oh, wow! I will say this: there is nothing. I think people confuse American football with like Premier League football, and even like you get into the lower leagues, like there's just crazy passion. Like there's nothing like it. I just, look, it's not the biggest sport here in the States. But that being said, even those games, like the MLS, like the fans that might be small in numbers, but they always do well. They draw well at the stadiums, I think. But I know that they're noisy as fuck. You know what I mean? Like they're just completely passionate about what that is and what that represents. So I love it. Probably a lot of them are expats too. Probably a lot of people coming from originally from Europe that might sink their teeth a little bit heavier into the football soccer thing. But yeah, I don't know. They got themselves a clean sheet, right? Clean sheet.
Yes, we've got a lot of clean sheets. We've got a very watertight defense this season.
Man. Can I ask you one more question before we move on? Do you think that they played not to lose or play to win?
I would say the former.
Okay.
To be honest, yeah, because there was a lot of. I think we're also quite fortunate to have a referee that was generous to us. Wanted to keep his cards in his pocket because there were a lot of cynical fouls from us to stop Man City counter-attacks, which are absolutely necessary. I think you need to have that in your locker if you're going to be a top team. You've got to have a bit of shithousery in you.
Sure.
But the sort of fouls that, had it been a Champions League game, we would have got booked for, and then that player getting a yellow card after 15 minutes. They're walking on eggshells for the rest of the match. But in this match, we sort of had carte blanche to kind of wrestle the City players to the ground as they were running away from us. So
put them in a figure
that added an extra level of fun to it. But I think the primary thing was to keep the shape, don't get caught out, don't do anything silly, because we had not a dissimilar. Well, no, actually, it was dissimilar, but a match at Champions League when we played Porto in the previous round, where it was playing out towards a rather boring 0-0 draw, where Porto used similar tactics on us that we used against City, but then in like the last 30 seconds, one of our players just got a bit overly ambitious, hit this speculative crossfield pass, which got caught in possession from one of the Porto players. They went up the other end of the pitch and in pretty much like the last 5 seconds of the game scored a goal. So we got sucker punched there. And I think we've learned from that, where in this match we just kept it simple and sensible and didn't lose our heads and didn't get overly ambitious, and just, as the clock was playing down, thought, no, we'll take this. 0-0 was a good result. Don't do anything daft. And I think that shows a lot of maturity.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, on the road, you take that. I'll take that. All right, listen.
Against the best team in the world. This is the treble winners.
Right.
That is the toughest fixture in world football, right, away to Man City, and we shut them out. Right. So, great.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, we'll take your calls after this on Arsenal Talk.
If we win either of those trophies, if we win the Champions League or the Premier League, I will do a bonus Arsenal podcast to annoy all the non-Arsenal fans. Any Arsenal supporting listeners, get in touch. We'll get you on this. We'll do like a big circle jerking round table. Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. All right. I'll moderate. I'll be the traffic control for that one. I can do that. That'd be great. Can we get the guy that does the Arsenal TV guy?
He does. Oh yes. My friend Ty.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's fucking do that. We're big time. We can make that happen. All right. So that's that. The circumcision. Look, that's crazy, right? How about
Zack Sabre Jr.? He's very precise and technical. I'm sure he did a great job. Although he probably object to it from a moral standpoint.
I want whoever's in possession of the Iron Claw to do it at the time. Is it Tai Chi who has it now? That's what I want. I want that to do the honors. We don't really have a George the Animal Steel in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I'll take that.
Right, Classic Cat says, how are you enjoying your descent into madness as an NJPW fan in 2024? Where are we? Where are you emotionally as a New Japan fan at the moment? Right now, as we speak.
Yeah.
On this day.
On this day, the 3rd of April, under the April skies. Pretty low, not going to lie. I would say with scale 1 to 10, I'm probably like 4. I think every time I feel like we're taking a step forward or we take 2 steps back, the truth be told, the G1 announcement has me worried. Just with the way it was laid out, and it looks like, just with our speculation, it does look like it's going to be more people in it than should be in it.
I mean, we can look at you look at the blocks, and not the blocks, the schedule, and it's pretty similar to last year. So I can do the mental gymnastics and squinting and thinking, maybe it could be 2 blocks of 10, and this day could be a double block night, and this could be the A block final. But in reality, the most obvious answer is probably that we're looking at 4 blocks of 8, 32 again, which stinks, and I'd rather we didn't do that. But that's what it's trending towards. I've got it here actually. No, I don't. I've closed it because I was looking at Chris Sampson's tweet. I wanted to say congrats to Chris, who's welcomed his new baby.
Oh no,
baby Riley,
I didn't know
family.
that.
So joining the dad club.
Great job.
Well done, Chris and his partner.
Yes, great job.
Welcome to the world, Riley. Yes. So what was he saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, the G1 Climax thing. So yeah, it's fairly similar to last year in terms of the number of dates and the sort of sizes of the venues. But we're starting off a double header at Osaka Edion Arena, which is probably one of the best, if not the best, venues of your G1 tour traditionally. It's very southern heavy. Apparently, that's what all the discourse has been about amongst the Japanese fan base. They're not doing Sapporo this year, I believe, because I think it's been refurbished or something. There was some chat about that on the Discord. I have to go back and check. Yes, no Sapporo start. There's a new Osaka venue. A lot of venues down south in contrast to last year, because last year it started up north. The first 2 shows in Edion, followed by a show in Hiroshima. So starting with the big town hot crowds instead of the quieter ones that they started last year. Because last year, if you remember, it was a bit of a
crickets.
Well, it was a very slow start. It was quite a dull start, and they started off in the crap town. So they've at least addressed that. So there's that. But
what's your number?
Yeah, so we've got a double header at the end, August 17th and 18th at Sumo Hall. So that seems to be the biggest tell that we're sticking with the format last year, because if it was 2 blocks of 10, traditionally that would have been a triple header 3 days in a row at Sumo Hall. But yeah,
so I gave a 4 with where I'm sitting. Where are you sitting?
Probably a little bit more optimistic than you. I feel that there's exciting stuff around the corner, so I'm at a 6. I mean, coming off the back of Yota Tsuji winning New Japan Cup, had that not happened, then I would probably be with you on a 4. But at least there's some indication there that they are doing some exciting stuff, even if there are also people within the company convinced of the terrorism booking theory that Gedo is deliberately booking the product badly on purpose to get back at Kidani. So, yeah, when that is an actual opinion that people working for the company have, then you know something's not right. So, yes, it's the mixed state on the We're So Back, It's So Over chart. Bros. That's the bit where it says bros and it's just sort of hovering in the middle.
It's, I think a ton is riding on, for me personally, is riding on Sakura Genesis, right? Which is this Saturday. It's I don't want to put too much focus on just one show, but if this winds up being a good show with a great main event, I would be thrilled, right? I would be thrilled. I'll take a good show with a super solid heavyweight championship match. And I guess I got to have faith that it will happen. I don't know. This is like, I think a lot of pressure is on Yota Tsuji right now, because I think the expectations that people have is of greatness at this point in time. And I don't know if we're ready for that. I hope so. I really do. But like, this is a big ask. And, depending upon what we're doing here or what we're doing in Chicago, for what will be a very big show for New Japan, and good for them, like I said a million times. Like, I don't know. Let's put it this way. And I know we're going to do a full preview, but I don't know how you walk out of this show with a title change, knowing that in your back pocket you have Chicago and people are expecting a title defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll hold off on that, but I don't think that should be. Well, for me, that's not my barometer of whether or not this is a successful show. My larger concerns going into it are, I know people are sick of hearing it, but the heavy emphasis on House of Torture, which is an act that I enjoy, but I'm also looking for balance in the way that these cards are constructed, and I don't feel, for my taste at least, that balance is right. So that's my concern going into Sakura Genesis. But can we just pivot slightly before we get into the Sakura Genesis, Damon? I'd like to just quickly discuss All Together. So this is the first event, excuse me, to be held under the banner of United Japan Pro Wrestling. So altogether, we'll see 6 promotions from the Japanese wrestling industry combined for a huge card on a Beamer pay-per-view, with the proceeds benefiting those affected by the Noto Peninsula earthquake on January 1st this year. So the first big matches announced are a President's versus House of Torture match. So we've got President Tanahashi, Noah President Marufuji, and Cyberfight President Sanshiro Takagi taking on Evil, Ren, and Yujiro. So, there we go. To my point about, copy and paste what I said before. We've got an all-star 6-man match with Shota Umino, Kaito Kiyomiya, and DDT's Yuki Ueno against Yuya Uemura, Konosuke Takeshita, and Shun Skywalker, or is it Sean Skywalker? I'm not sure if it's Shun or Sean that they're sending for this one. Sean's his brother. I said he's working in US India at that time. This is like the sort of future aces, young guys, young handsome lads, 6-man match. So I'm into that. That one should be quite good. And we've got the beefy tag match where we've got Daisuke Sekimoto and Tomohiro Ishii taking on Jeffrey Cobb and Masa. It says Kiyomiya, isn't it Kitamiya?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look it up now. Okay. It is Kitamiya. It's written incorrectly. It says Kiyomiya, but I know it's Kitamiya. Who's writing these things, Damon? But anyway, there's a beefy boys tag match. So we've got Presidents against House of Torture, Aces and Future Aces, and Beef Boys. So that is all together May 6th. First match is announced for that.
That's not bad.
Nick says thoughts on United Japan show.
Not bad. That's not a bad show. I think everybody when they announce these things and the possibilities of it, you're hoping that you're going to get these interpromotional singles matches that are going to just blow everybody's pants off. Okay, you're going to get a lot of tags, right? We knew this, but I like the little mix of the United Presidential Front. Hey, I kind of dig that against the evilest of evil factions in the House of Torture. I like the fact that young developing stars are put in pretty high profile matches, so I like that. And I like the mix. I like the idea of dipping your toes in a bunch of different promotions and having them actually form a team. I don't know. I think it's good. I'm not doing cartwheels in the street.
We're not paying for it. Let's get that clear.
Right. Okay. Right. I don't know if I'm opening my wallet, but I don't think it's a bad show. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Those few matches, I'm sure there'll be more stuff announced and big names who have not been declared for it yet. But yeah, these things are always fun. I always manage my expectations going into that, and you usually get good crowd vibes, like particularly that Aces match where we will get showdowns like I don't know, Shota Umino against Konosuke Takeshita. I think that will be fun. Although I think they haven't they? They may have faced off before in AW matches. I don't know, but anyway, point still stands. It's always fun to see the promotional aces face off against each other and see how the crowd reacts to that. So
I wonder
should be good.
I wonder who's losing that match.
Could it be Kaito Kiyomiya?
Oh.
He's no way.
No, I don't know. Maybe you did say Yujiro was in this match, right?
He's in the President's match.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's.
Oh, the President's match. Oh, okay, right. No, I was talking about the Aces match. But,
yeah.
Well, you say that. I think I could see Sanshiro Takagi lying down, staring at the lights for the house. Heat.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my money on good old Yujiro, pimping his way, lying it down, looking at the lights. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Right, let's move on to quickly touching on Road to Sakura Genesis. So this was Sunday, March 31st in Shizuoka, the Hamamatsu match. So it was the KOPW Provisional Championship main event where Great Khan, the holder, defeated the challenger Tangaloa in what was it, a revival Hamamatsu culture match, whatever it was. So first fall was, what was it, like cumulative pin counts, something like that. And then the second fall, they were supposed to be eating eel, unagi, but it got changed to gyoza dumplings. Apparently that was some sort of fan vote to vote on what food they thought best represented Hamamatsu. But I'm suspicious. I think that the company just cheaped out on them. We're like, no, we're not paying for all that eel.
I would think the eel would be more expensive, right? Yeah, that's exactly was my thought. Correct.
So, yeah, what this boiled down to was a first fall that was just kind of a boring, not very good wrestling match. And a second fall, which was just two guys eating. And then a third fall, which was just two guys crawling around on the mat. And it was very bad and very boring. There wasn't anything funny about it, or I didn't get any entertainment from this. It was just really upsetting to watch, and I'm sure there are people who enjoy it. Maybe this is not for us. This is for, I don't know, maybe for the children. Maybe the kids found it very entertaining. But for me, it was shit,
garbage. And again, last week, going on my little soliloquies, I said, look, I have no faith that these guys could pull something like this off. They have all they can do to just fucking get in the ring and have just a regular, decent, solid pro wrestling match. And now we're going to throw.
So these are two guys who are bad at wrestling and have bad chemistry together. So what will make it even better? Let's make them stuff their faces with 30-odd dumplings and then wrestle each other.
Right. It was just silliness. And of course, I mean, look, what are we?
Don't fucking talk to me about where are we with Great Khan. I don't want to hear it.
No.
He's a useless sack of shit, and he does not deserve our time to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right, and you're exactly right.
I tell you what, do you remember several years ago? It doesn't feel that long ago when I was excited about Tangaloa when he was just showing glimpses back when GOD were good, and I was like, oh, it's a hot tag. This guy's showing that sort of never open weight style, hard hitting powerhouse style. This guy's really good. We've got something here. Nope. Take a big fat L on that one.
I just decided to bring up the. And again, your mileage will vary on how you take these, but I just wanted to see what people thought of it on the old cage match, right?
It's probably been brigaded by the WWE fans. So,
well, there was one person apparently that gave it a 7. A 7. I would say most are in the 3 to 4s. 3 to 4s. Total rating right now is a notch less than 4. So 3.99 is the current rating. Yeah, rough watch, right? Just, I don't know what. Like, I just don't know why. What was the? It's not. It's the frustration, of course, of Great Okan, but we're past that. Like, we're done with that. We're not even fucking. We are just well past it. It's just the whys. Like, what are we doing? I guess is when I turned off that match. I just, again, that's your main event. Like, that's your. What are we doing?
When Kazuchika Okada was out there in, what was it, late 2020, announcing his bold new idea, and I don't know if it actually came from him, but let's just take that at face value about this great new idea he had with all these, freedom to have these gimmick matches. He's talking about like cage matches and ladder matches, that we would end up with Tangaloa and Great Okan just eating dumplings.
I just...
Was that what his great vision was?
Sure it was. Oh, here we go. I got the person who put the seven, and I quote, Chris wrote on the 3rd of was it March or 8th? I don't know. I'm surprised by the low scores here. I wonder if it is disappointment at Okan losing. Tangaloa's offense is not good, but he did not get but he did not get much, to be fair, as Okan dominated most of the March. That's what it says. But then, wait, they gave it a 7, but then he gave stars. I'm assuming Chris is a he. 1, 2, 3 and a quarter stars. So how do you get a 7 and 3? I don't understand.
Did Chris provide a surname?
No, just we all know. It's like Bono,
Chris C.
Nope, just a Chris. No, Chris C.
Chris C from Tokyo. Because the spelling mistakes and typos make me think
it might be. Something All right.
I'll tell you what. I will say one good thing in defense of this match. It did make me really want to eat some gyoza, and I've not done that yet. And now I'm talking about the match. I still fancy some. So tomorrow I'm going to go out and get some gyoza.
See, I went the opposite.
Well done.
I want the eel. I'm looking for eel tomorrow. I gotta get me some. Yeah, Chris. Let me see if there's. Oh, Sweet Abashi is where it's coming from. Huh. I wonder. All right. It was just horrible, right? How could anybody be? Oh, whatever. Look, we're past it.
Right, I've got a load of questions here that I didn't get to last week about this match. So Louis says, as long as we're previewing, well, this is preview. Obviously, this is a review now. Great Okan versus Low match. How about remember some of Okan's best promos and interviews? My favorite is still the one with Shingo. It was a press conference where Okan brought all the medals he had won. What are some of your guys' favorites? I can't remember any. And here's quite an entertaining promo, Great Okan. I did like his promo, backstage promo after this match, where he said something along the lines of like Tangaloa is a shit wrestler and that's why we had to execute him today. Yeah. Or it was like, it basically said something to that effect. So I thought that was a good line. So well done for saying that.
Yeah. I think my favorite is his Las Vegas run. Like that, to me, that was peak Great Okan. His that Vegas adventure. And I'm telling you, that's when shit hit the fan. It feels like that's when everything started to fall apart. It felt like, but yeah, I'm actually looking at. I decided to venture a little deeper. Now I'm on Reddit. Oh, I'm in the squared circle. Actually, it's not that bad. They're just
stinky.
they're just like, this guy's the fucking biggest loser in wrestling.
And listen, how fast did you scroll down before there was someone insulting us?
I'll do that. That's not right. That's not nice. We're very nice. Yeah, Great Okan just. But yeah, okay. We're. Can I? Let me. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do one thing while I was here. I feel like I'm like Mr. Internet today. I just want to see, when was the last last matches he has had that he's won, like a singles match. I mean, we would probably have to go back to
Great Khan. I'm sure he's what he did he not beat Alex Coughlin? Was that Alex Coughlin's last singles match in?
he might have. Yeah, he's right.
know?
That's probably it. Man, it just seems like he's on the fucking losing end of just about everything. Yeah, well, whatever. Who cares? No one cares about him. I'm just looking at Shingo Takagi.
Way too long discussing.
In 11 minutes at Destruction at Kobe. I'm just quickly skimming. Yeah. Okay.
Right, I'm going to read more questions. Steve says, by the end of this year, will there still be a KOPW, or does this match kill it once and for all? And Dan says, what should the direction be for this title? It's just on life support here. The rules of that too, geez. Yeah, I think it will still be around. I think it's just like a kind of funny, silly, goofy comedy thing that they can trot out for sort of borderline house shows in remote villages where the redneck equivalents there will be like, oh, look at this. This is people eating. Oh, look, they're doing Ring Fit, and will gain some entertainment from the lowbrow quote unquote comedy that they're putting on offer there. So that's what this title is. We seem to be very far removed from the going back to what Shingo was doing with it, and the great Shingo versus Henare matches. And so I guess this is just. I'd be curious to see like how much creative input the holder has. Like, is it Great O'Khan coming up with his ideas, or is this like a rib from The Office, and they're telling him the stipulations that he has to propose?
I hope it's the wrestlers. I think it is. You know why? Because there were times when Shingo held this and Taichi held this, and at least those felt like they were original concepts that they created. Right? It sort of felt like it. I could be dead wrong, but it sort of felt like it. And you would think that O'Khan, again, getting the win, beating Tongaloa, great. That would, I don't know. Like, he seems like a creative guy, at least, right? Doesn't he? Like, he seems like a guy that might come up with some interesting things. Yet we had the fucking what was it? The rural revitalization. Come on. Yeah. So, look, I have no. They're going to keep it. Sometimes these are decent. Sometimes they're awful. But I don't think it disintegrates and goes away. It's funny. Like, all these titles, of all the titles that has never left Japanese soil, it's this one. Right? Every other fucking title goes takes.
Why don't they bring it over for like all the gimmick shit that they do, the Philly cheesesteak nonsense that would be right at home in the States?
You would think.
All the Yankoid imbeciles.
Yeah, it's me. Right? Well, yeah. I mean, of all the fucking titles that this company has, the 250 titles, this one stays. This one sticks around. This one does not take a vacation. So again, I'm going to shoulder shrug. Yeah, it's going to stick around, but like, it depends on who holds it. And at the very least, if it's Great O'Khan, again, I'm holding out some hope that the guy has some creativity and has some input in this. If not, I mean, this guy's just, well, we already know the answer to that. But all right, let's move on.
Matthew says, what's the maximum amount of time you would travel to see a New Japan Roadshow without knowing the card? I'd probably go an hour, but I wouldn't watch this if it was in my garden. So Mystery Road 2 show. I mean, there's a benchmark. I think if you go to a Road 2 show, you're going to have a good time. Like, it's going to be fun. Yes. You're not going to leave feeling that you've wasted your time or your money. So would I personally travel? Maybe... I don't know. I don't know if I would go. If I was on holiday in Japan now,
no.
And I had a choice between
let's say
going to...
Let's say a Road 2 show shows up in Manchester. Road 2 Sakura Genesis passes through Manchester. Are you going up to Manchester?
No, absolutely not. Okay, Road 2 in New Japan Roadshow in Exeter, like 25-minute driveway. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
No, we're talking. But Manchester, fuck that noise.
Fuck that now. Well, I mean, I don't think it was a Road 2 show, mind you, but like I went to Washington, which is about a 2-hour drive, for whatever they had, whatever they called it. But I don't think that was a Road 2 show. That seemed like it was better, even bigger than a Road 2 show. A Road 2 show, I would say, do I have to pay for the ticket or am I getting comped? Because if I'm getting comped, I might go a little further. I would say probably 2 hours is the most. So that would take me to New York or Washington. That's probably as far as I'm going.
And Cashew is Life says, I'm headed out to Tokyo next week to watch Sakura Genesis and a Noah show at Korakuen. This will be my 5th time to Japan, but first time watching a wrestling show.
Oh.
What non-Japanese restaurants have you visited that you'd recommend? Also, any must-visit wrestling spots/stores. I don't know why you would be entertaining the possibility of having non-Japanese food while you're in Japan.
Yeah, I feel like that's what you. I would give you recommendations for ramen and.
Let me ask Mally. Actually, she's here. Mally, can I ask you a question, please?
Don't ask me quickly.
Please.
I'm scared.
It's a nice
scared.
question.
Please don't. I'm scared.
When we all our holidays to Japan, did we always eat Japanese food? Were there any times that you remember where we had non-Japanese food?
No.
So we always ate Japanese food.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's a preposterous suggestion. No, eat Japanese food. It's so diverse. Why?
Go to Japanese.
Yeah.
Go to Japan.
Yeah, you can go to I'm sure you can go to a steakhouse. You could go to, but I'm sure
Ribera.
Yeah, I went there
Ribera?
twice. It's not bad. It's pretty good, but it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm trying to think the best. No, everything I ate was. Yeah, why would you get Mexican food? Get taco. Why would you do that?
I want to know what Cashew's Life's anti-Japan agenda is.
Yeah.
This question feels a little bit racist to me.
No, he's been there 5 times. I think he's all right. For wrestling, again, you got to go to the Totokan shop. They moved it. It used to be near right off the exit, the Suidabashi station, but they moved it bigger. Apparently, I haven't been in the new location, but obviously that's the pro wrestling shop, right? That's the place you got to go if you want pro wrestling stuff. I haven't been there in a while, but there was a bookstore that was right in that whole Corkin complex. That was pretty good. They had a lot of magazines if you're into that kind of thing. You know what I heard though? I heard that that area is a bit of a ghost town now. A lot of the shops did not bounce back from COVID, and they just never reopened. There used to be a Denny's there, and I think that's closed down. And there was a bunch of other shops. There was a sausage beer garden thing. I don't know. I don't even know if that's still there. There was a good ramen shop right across the street. That's gone. So I gotta be honest with you. A, stick with the Japanese food. Come on, what are you doing? And 2, I don't know what's open anymore. Look, here's what you do. You take the fucking train, you go to Shinjuku, or you go to Shibuya, and you fucking walk to where the lights are the brightest. And you just stroll into a joint. And I know it's nerve-wracking. Trust me, I get it. I know it. But just go in. Because I guarantee you will have the time of your life. Guarantee it. I don't care where you go. You're going to walk in that place. They're going to look at you like, what the fuck are you doing here? Sit down. Let's have some food and let's drink. I guarantee it. So definitely do that. What was the name of the pub that we went to? That was a good place. The beer was really good. It was a British pub.
What, the Hub?
Nah, it was in Shibuya. It was on the 3rd floor or something like that. That's where we have the cool pictures of us together. We met for the first time.
Oh yeah, I remember the one. No, I can't remember the name.
I want to say the Allagash or something like that. Look into that. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Whatever.
Don't go there. All right, let's go on to Sakura Genesis. So this is Saturday, April 6th at the Ryogoku Kokugikan. Said it right there. Mm-hmm. We're kicking off with the Frontier Zone. Bolton Oleg Toriano Tomohiro Ishii against, I think these are all 2 AW guys, Chicharito Shoki, Takuro Niki, and, you may remember this name, Damon, Ayato Yoshida. So listeners might remember him from World Tag League 2018, tagging with Shota Umino. And I remember at the time, I was very high on Yoshida and thinking, the fact that he'd been teamed up with Shota and, maybe he'd have a future in New Japan. But I don't know exactly. I may have this wrong, but I think it might be due to Taka Michinoku's indiscretions that he's ended up sort of stuck with 2AW for whatever reason. I'd have to look at his cage match actually to see what he's up to.
Cage match?
I'm going to do that now.
Getting a lot of work.
Yeah, they're not paying us.
I'll tell you what.
So, yeah, no, it just seems mainly 2AW stuff. I was just wondering if he'd done anything.
Now, is this a dark match?
Yeah, this is, well, I don't, yeah, it's pre-show, so okay. I think it does make the broadcast, but it's not officially part of the main card. But yeah, I'd be interested to see Ayato Yoshida again.
Sure. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Toriano and Ishii carrying the load. Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Maybe this is Oleg Boltin's recruitment into chaos. This could be your next never 6-man champions.
Look at that.
Boltin and Yano and Ishii.
Now we're talking.
Anyway, we move on. First match, we've got Ryusuke Taguchi and El Desperado against Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. So obviously Zack has his hands full at the moment. He's going to be facing Matt Riddle at Windy City Riot for the TV title. And I don't know why they're doing that because I'm not really interested in seeing Zack back in the TV title picture. I would have thought he's above that at this point. I am more interested in Despy and what they're doing with him because they've hinted at some interesting stuff with him and guys he's going to be teaming up with. Yet to deliver anything. I don't know if he's just going to go back to challenging for the junior title, if he's going to be front and center in Best of the Super Juniors, which I imagine is going to be announced fairly soon. Is it around this time, or it's usually sort of around Don Taku, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Best of the Super Juniors. But yeah, I'll be interested to see this one and just see if there's any hints at future direction with Despy. But I would expect Zack to be picking up a win here.
I would think so. I think this is a weird match in the sense that it's 3 juniors and Zack, right? So if you did want to kind of stretch out a little bit and think of El Desperado maybe moving up, maybe stretching his legs, because Taguchi's already established as a junior. That might be an interesting thing. Yeah, but I think the biggest disappointment is Zack. Well, here's the thing. So Zack is, again, challenging Matt Riddle. Would you be okay with that if there was a title change?
No, because look, Zack got this big win over, what's his name, Bryan Danielson, and protected in defeat going out in the New Japan Cup due to House of Torture shenanigans. I figured that the Danielson win is the start of the rocket strap.
Would have thought.
This is you beat Bryan Danielson in a major singles match that everyone was talking about. This is a guy who should be in the main event picture. He should be prominent there. So I think going back to the TV title would be a downgrade from that. So I don't want to see him win the TV title. I certainly don't want to see him lose to Matt Riddle. And I think the draw doesn't really do anything for him either. So I just don't like him being in that.
I'm with you.
In that sphere, in that biome.
And then first match, again against a bunch of juniors. This screams to me either A, definitely. I mean, look, I think Zack gets the win, but okay. Aside from that, doesn't this feel like this is a match that somebody else is getting the spotlight here? Like, why would you Zack doesn't need this to be a junior to get heated up. He's had arguably a match of the year candidate so far in New Japan, a big win. And now, again, he's going to beat a junior to get heated up? Like, that doesn't make
sense. There's other options. Yeah, I mean, we could see, like, Fujita pinning Taguchi or something to get a bit of
maybe
shine. Or
Then why are we having Zack in here, period, can I ask? Right.
Certainly.
Right. I mean, seriously, Mikey.
Look, I'm never going to balk at seeing Zack Sabre Jr. on a big show
Neither
because
am
I like him and I like to see him wrestle, so that's fine. But yeah, the matchup is a bit strange. It's hard to sort of pass out what the purpose of this is.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, would you be upset if like Mikey Nichols took this fucking role? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see what the point is of having Zach in this particular match. A, if he beats a junior, okay, great. B, if he doesn't pick up the win, okay, now what do we do? Well, now what are we doing? Coming off of, again, a pretty high-profile win. Oh, sometimes I just scratch my head and wonder aloud. All right, let's move on to match number 2 with a 20-minute time limit, I say.
Yes, and that is Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi against Gedo and David Finlay. Now,
Here's
the main event... Well, my theory for this one is, for anyone who watched the show today from Korakuen Hall, the main event was Hiromu and Naito against Bushi and Yota Tsuji. And it ended very abruptly with Bushi pinning Hiromu. He did the...
Really?
Used Hiromu's little roll-up thing against him. So, very surprising winner to that one, which makes me think, I think Bushi's going to pick up another win here.
Wow.
And perhaps launching, what are they called? Los Dos Peligros, the Bushi Hiromu team, back into the junior title picture. So I think Bushi gets a pin over Gedo here.
Okay.
And I think we're looking at possible future junior tag challenges here.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think Gedo is prime for the pickings. I don't know. Sometimes I think like they give guys these crazy wins, and then expectations are high, and then David Finlay's going to fucking just destroy Bushi. But again, like this is match number 2, and it's Junior, and David Finlay, right? So David Finlay looks like a boob if he can't beat the Junior, and again, if he doesn't, okay, he's just there as a placeholder. I don't. Who's making these fucking matches? It makes no sense to me. All right, you predicting Bushi with the pin? I'll say, as if anybody gave a shit. That makes the most sense, actually, given the fucking results that you just gave. Yeah, you know what? I'll ride your coattails and say Bushi pins Gedo.
Okay. Third match is Doki, Yuya Uemura, and Sanada against Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, and Jeff Cobb. So I like this one. It looks nice on paper, and maybe setting up some stuff for the Never Six-Man tournament gimmick that they're doing in Taiwan. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we are going to see any of these teams exactly as they are, or some sort of permutations of different combinations of guys of these two factions. But I like this one. This one looks pretty good. In terms of picking a winner,
you know who's losing.
What, Callum Newman?
No.
Doki?
No. Great O'Khan.
Oh, Great O'Khan, of course. How could I be so foolish? Yeah. Yeah, so probably Yuya pinning Great O'Khan here.
There you go.
And I think some sort of combination of just 5 guys, or United Empire for that matter, could be good value for that. Those Never Six-Man titles.
This match should be pretty good. Yeah, this match looks good. It should be fine. Yeah, Cobb should be great. Sanada.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
While we're talking about these guys, Callum Newman.
Yeah.
G1, yes or no?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody gets in. To be honest with you, I think
we're in.
I believe so. I think we're getting a phone call. Trust me, it'd be 2 days before the fucking tournament. Yeah, I'll say yes.
They're calling out. Yeah, hello, hi. Yeah, who's in the block with me? No, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck that.
I've hung up on them.
Here's the thing: pay me in advance. Pay me in advance because I don't trust you people. I need to get back to the airport. I can't depend on you fucking jerk off. No, I want that money up front. Yeah, Callum's in, definitely.
Right, fourth match is the IWGP Junior Tag Championship 3-way match, and they announced on this Korakuen show today that this is going to be a tornado tag match, which that means everyone is legal all the time.
Yep.
Which I don't really understand how that's any different from how they usually do these matches, because they're not exactly stringent on
hold the tag rope. You're not holding the tag rope.
But we have the champions Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors defending against dual challengers Kevin Knight and Kushida, and Francesco Akira and TJP. Now, listeners, if you are going to watch one match from the Korakuen show today, the Gauntlet match was a lot of fun. So we had Kevin Knight, Kushida, and Ishii defeating Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, and TJP, and then going on to defeat Gedo, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors. And Kevin Knight looked really, really great. He's looking, big and muscular and full of confidence, and he's a bit sharper. Seems to have tightened up some of the sloppier areas of his game, and he's just looking very, very impressive. So the thought did sort of pop into my head if this guy is long for the junior heavyweight division, because I think he could easily pass as a heavyweight. So something to keep an eye out going forward. I don't know what his contract situation is, whether he's tied up with TNA now, if he's able to do as many New Japan dates as I would like him to do, or if the company sees that upside in him. But quite a difficult one to call in terms of winners, because I think there is value in any of these three teams winning, actually. I like do Driller and Clark retaining. Catch 2 are great when TJP's not doing his not on his bullshit, and I like the Intergalactic Jet Setters team as well. So I don't know. You could just flip not a coin,
a 3-sided coin,
2 sides, yeah. 3-sided coin. Flip a no, not a pyramid, because that's got 4 sides, hasn't it?
You need one of those Dungeons and Dragon dice things. Yeah, you need multiple sides.
Yes. Yes, flip one of those. A 3-dimensional shape with 6 faces. A dice. That would be a dice. So if it's a 1 or a 2,
okay,
we'll go with Galactic Jet Setters.
Okay.
If it's 3 or 4,
right,
Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors. And if it's a 5 or a 6, Francesco Akira, TGP.
I think it's perfect.
God, this is a very laboured analogy. Is it even an analogy? I don't know what it is. Just words are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
No meaning.
I'm letting you go.
Let's go with the Jet Setters. Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight looks great. Let's strap him up again. I like him.
All right,
good guy.
I'm in. I've been in for a while. You've been in the Kevin Knight bandwagon for. Well, I mean, you constructed it. I feel like you were one of the first. So yes, I would be happy. And you're right. Any of these teams, I would be happy with. Any of them. I'm going to be truthful. I don't care. I don't care who gets it. I think we have 3 teams that I'm perfectly content with holding these titles. No worries whatsoever. And I'll go so far as to say this. I think this match will be great. I can't imagine it not being great. They're giving them a lot of time too. I mean, potentially. They're
I don't know. I was going to say that's the only thing that could potentially hold it back. This is the 4th match out of 9.
Right.
So
they're giving them 60 minutes though. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
it's going to go Broadway.
You think they're going to full? Do you think they're going the full 60? Probably not. Right. You're probably looking at like 12 at best. That being said, though, they're going to cram in a fucking 60 minutes worth of shit in a fucking 20-minute match or 12-minute match. Who's winning? I'm going to go with. I'm going to say successful defense. What do you think of that? Successful IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship defense for Drilla and Clark.
5th match is the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championship match. The champions Chase Owens and Kenta against the challengers Bishamon, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto. We got to get the titles off Chase and Kenta. Please get them back onto Bishamon. I mean, for as much as I dislike this team, I mean, who's the worst wrestler in this match at this point? Is it Kenta?
Yeah.
Okay. and it pains me to say that.
Me too.
I mean, Chase Owens is not a terrible wrestler.
He's not.
He is capable of putting on decent sequences with good wrestlers. So I'm just trying to, squint to see it. Like, could I enjoy any part of this match? Could I envisage sequences between like Chase Owens and Goto that are enjoyable, or Chase and Yoshihashi? This could be. It could be all right. I mean, if Kenta's got his working boots on, it might just don't be shit. I think if this match is not shit and is in and out in no more than 10 minutes and Bishamon win, then I'll call that a job well done.
Okay. Look, Kenta was one of the greatest pro wrestlers of the 2000s. Everyone knows. Look, I don't think there's many arguments there. What he is now is a shell of what he once was. Unfortunately, that shell it's not even hit or miss anymore. It's I gotta sit through this. Right? But if we're holding out hope and we're trying to be positive, it does have the potential. And again, recent history might dictate this more than my wanting and hoping we can turn back the fucking hands of time. It could be good. It could be good. I'm hoping and praying that we do get a title change. I think we will. I'm praying that we will. But more than that, I'm going to say that this will be good. I'm going to go out on a limb, and Chase, Kenta, don't let me down. I'm on this fucking branch. I'm going to say this is going to be good.
Sixth match is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match with the Champion Show defending against the challenger Yo, and they've just like leaned in hard on fucking Looney Tunes belt stealing, chasing around. There was this little video interview with Yo in his weird art studio where he does all his sort of crazy artwork, and we're talking about a show, and he ended up saying, went down the tried and tested homoerotic connotations towards the end. You can't go wrong with that. So, fair play. He knows his audience. Sure. And so I don't know. Maybe there'll be some eroticism going on and some kissing and touching and things. My
some
expectations
real life,
are not particularly high.
Real
I
life
will say this.
fiction.
Let's pop it into the AI generator and see what results it comes up with. See if they can lay out a better match than Yo and Show actually can. Like when these two have tried to wrestle serious matches before, I can't remember anything about them. Like if you ask me to name one memorable spot or sequence or finish from a Yo versus Show singles match, I wouldn't be able to do that. So maybe it's for the best that they just lean on the wacky shit. And I think we're going to get plenty of it here. And it could be quite funny because I'd like to share with you the... can I share screenshots? No, I can't. I'm going to have to take a photo of it from my phone. But the image that they used on New Japan World for the backstage comments from the show on the 31st was just tells you everything you need to know about how seriously they are taking this.
Are they like in boxer, like not even boxer briefs? Are they in like bikini briefs with their wangs hanging out?
Right.
All right, let's see. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you now on WhatsApp.
Via the space. Here it is.
Do you want to describe that for the listeners?
Sure can. So it's Show is in the front and center, giving an impassioned promo. And he's got this
with the wrench in his hand.
With the wrench in his hand, correct. And he's very adamant. He's screaming. His mouth's open. His eyes are wide open. He's very intense looking. and peeking out the behind the backdrop that they usually have with all the advertisements when they do the promos is making that same silly face or something very similar, shirtless, by the way. That's it's just look. I
a lot of funny faces. This is funny face pro over here.
It's it has a very wacky, silly vibe to it, and I don't know if I necessarily want that with my IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship matches. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little stick in the mud, but kind of wanted this to be a little bit serious, a little bit, and it doesn't feel like it is. And yeah, you're right. It does feel like this has the potential to have a lot of wackiness involved, a lot of fucking shenanigans. Which, again, is a little bit of a shame because we know that, or at least we feel that, both these guys could probably put on a really good championship match. The problem is this, is that when they do shit like this, I feel that you take people out of it. Like if you're not serious about it, then why am I going to be serious about it? I guess is the point. And I'm not saying everything in pro wrestling has to be super serious. Can we have a little bit? Can we have can we have some? And maybe we will. Maybe they'll turn on the Jets and have a great match. Look, on paper and stripping everybody's gimmick away, this does have the potential to be pretty great. Will we see that? I'm holding out hope. Maybe I'm out of my mind, but I'm holding out hope because I truly believe that both these guys can. The problem is okay, are they? And this could go south very quickly. Like I don't have the confidence in New Japan to present a match to me, and give me a serious fucking match here. I just don't trust it. I think they're going to lean heavy into the fucking nonsense, unfortunately. So again, this could be good. It could be very good. I think it could be great. Could be great. Will it be great is a completely different fucking story. And I think that encapsulates, and that is the root of my frustration with New Japan. That's why I'm at a 4. Because technically I should be getting something pretty solid, right? With these two guys. You would think. But we're going to lean into nonsense. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But this is the shit that frustrates me.
Okay, 7th match is a special tag match. Shota Umino and Jon Moxley against Jack Perry and Ren Narita.
Yeah.
Micah says, Oh no, we've got a question about Sho, actually. Let me ask you this first. Kid Kilowatt says, at one point, I really saw Sho as possible future junior ace. I know he's the champ now, but it feels like a waste. Age-wise, he should be hitting his prime now. NJPW needs some star power. Is there still hope for Sho?
There always is. There's always is hope, right? And that really just depends on what they want to do with a person. It's not the person, it's what they're fucking saddled with when it comes to a gimmick. So no, I mean, I was right. I was on this very fucking show. I was like, I thought the world of Sho. Show. I thought the world of him, and I just had to give up. I had to put that aside until he's done with this nonsense. Right? I had to just turn that off in my brain because you're just gonna be super frustrated and you're not gonna have fun. So if you're able to turn that off, great. They can always. The talent is there for them both of them to be legitimate stars in that division. But This is I don't know. Look, you could say, well, Sho's in a very prominent role in a very prominent faction, right? That no one really enjoys except Joel, and a couple people on Discord. So again, I would say turn off that part of your brain and wait a little bit until a couple years, maybe year or two, maybe for that to come around.
Right, so back to this special tag match then. I mean, obviously, this is here to set up future things. So, Shota. Is Shota versus Jack Perry? Is that official for Windy City Riot?
I think so.
I think it is. So, we've got that to look forward to. And Mox, presumably here so he can come out to officially challenge the winner of the main event. Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy Jon Moxley in New Japan. He always puts in good effort. So I don't want to sort of get this conversation to be subsumed into an unofficial preview of Windy City Riot. I'm going to hold off on that for next week. But yeah, your thoughts on this tag match. And maybe we can talk a bit about Jungle Boy afterwards. Leica says, can Shota Umino do anything of note without Jon Moxley in his vicinity? I mean, is this proximity to Moxley helpful for Shota Umino? I mean, that's a question to be asked, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, I have no problem with these guys. They have a long history. I have no problem with them being together. And I know people don't necessarily want to hear this, but being in close proximity to Jon Moxley is not a bad thing at this point. Well, once again,
but I don't think he's ever going to feel like a bigger star than Jon Moxley.
Not right now. No.
Ever.
It's hard to say. And the reason why I say that is this. Like, Jon Moxley has a bit of an advantage of who he's been, where he's been, what he's done, and add to that New Japan Pro Wrestling, where Shota is here. And yeah, I mean, so I think I really like him. Shota, that is. Like, I'm a big fan. And I know sometimes people get down on him, and sometimes people don't necessarily see what I see. I see a future star. I really do. And I know that might sound silly, but I truly believe that while he might not be the guy right now that Yota Tsuji is, I think eventually, not only will he be there, but I think he will surpass that. Will he ever be as big a star as Jon Moxley is now? Can you see Shota Umino drawing a big Tokyo Dome main event?
Yes, with a lot of caveats, but yes.
Okay. I mean, to me, that's his ceiling, right? Drawing a big dome main event, Wrestle Kingdom. Like, that's the ceiling. Like, I don't...
Okay, but maybe against Jon Moxley. So let me twist this as is the idea pops into my head, which we have discussed before. Would it benefit Shota to have... I don't want to... As obvious as Mox turning on him and, attacking him, whatever, but a rivalry with Mox rather than, hey, look, here's my little buddy Shota.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is Pro Wrestling 101, right? I think that's the natural step to me, anyway, of where this eventually will go. I'm not sitting here saying Jon Moxley is going to join House of Torture, mind you, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Mox and Shota split during this match. It really wouldn't. I think eventually that's going to be it. And I think that's going to help him. I think it's going to help him a lot, to be honest with you. I really do. Like, I think that feud would do wonders for him. Yeah. I mean, I really do think that that's where the money is. Does that, I mean, that's not headlining Wrestle Kingdom, but let's be honest here. You do this right.
It could be.
You could have this as you know, one of the top 3 matches on the show. No doubt. You could.
Okay. Can you foresee a world where Wrestle Kingdom main event, not necessarily next year, but in some point in the future, IWGP champion Jon Moxley against Grade 1 Climax winner Shota Umino as your main event at Tokyo Dome?
Maybe. I'll say maybe. Maybe.
I suppose then my query is not whether Shota can main event the Dome, because I feel that that is in his future, but would they main event the Dome with Moxley? But again, yeah, this is going into the realm of a lot of hypotheticals here, so I apologise for derailing your more sensible line of conversation.
But no, I mean, I think it depends on the timeline, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it happens next year. How long are you invested in Jon Moxley? You know what I mean? But yeah, look, I think that's the path that we're going. We're going with a little feud, hopefully a decent feud, a fun feud. And this match, like these two, maybe without the title, in relatively recent foreseeable future, that could be a match at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't think anybody would complain about that. I'm not saying main event. I'm saying third from the top. Would anybody really complain about that? I don't think so.
Let's talk Jack Perry.
No, man.
So Antonio says, have question, which is because I've been recently listening about the Jungle Boy stories from both Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, constantly contradicting themselves about JB's status in NJPW and AEW. My question, according to yours, yes, yours, not theirs, or VOW, what's his status currently? He's been exiled to the point of no return, hence why is NJPW run? Or it's just an excursion to later return to AEW, aka a work? Basically, what's Guy's status according to your sources? Not no VOW or their sources, no, your sources in regards to this subject, because it's clear that both Meltzer and Alvarez don't even what's going on with the guy. The fact they contradict and use fake story to not accept their mistake on their YouTube channel tells what they know about the subject. So I'm counting on you guys on this, since you are king of scoops, because this situation is very confusing to say at least. It is confusing. Did you hear the CM Punk interview on, was it the MMA hour that he did, where he was talking about
Ariel
Helwani, when he talked about what Jack Perry did, that he wanted to smash up a rental car. And if we take that at face value, that is quite a daft thing to do, isn't it? To get a rental car, smash it up, and then return. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you got insurance on it. I don't know. I hate to break his heart. I have no idea what the fuck his status is. I mean, look. I can't sit here and I can't even make up a scenario. I have no idea. I know that they have no problem using him. I don't think. I mean, technically, he didn't get released, did he?
I think that's the sticking one. I don't think it was ever made official. Like, there were quotes attributed to Tony Khan, like he's never going to forgive Jack Perry for costing him, for making him lose CM Punk. And to be honest, would AEW miss him?
No,
I don't think so.
Would anybody miss
their
him?
roster absolutely stand? No. Would we miss him if he disappeared? No one would. He's a completely forgetful wrestler.
Sorry.
That's not to say I'm not enjoying his run, but again, I'm managing my expectations as to what the ceiling is on this. It's quite entertaining for what it is, but do I want to see him in the main event scene of New Japan? Absolutely not.
G1?
Do I care if he goes back to AEW? Absolutely not. So
G1?
Would I put him in the G1? Would I? Sure, why not?
Wow.
Would I be excited about it? No. Like, fine, he can go in there, but again, we're labouring under the delusion that there's some sort of benchmark of quality for entering the G1 climax. There's not. Come on.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I think that window of G1 being the be all to end all, I think that window's closed a couple years ago, right? Like seriously, that window's closed, right?
Sorry, window for what?
G1 being.
I was just confirming something. I can confirm that the KOPW stipulations and votes are all legit. So that's why I got distracted. But yeah, sorry, what was the question?
No, has G1 been watered down so much that it's no longer that marquee New Japan Pro Wrestling event? Yeah. I hate to say it. It really has.
Yeah. You cannot combine your roster getting weaker with you expanding and diluting the field.
Right.
And I understand why they've done it, and it might be better for the boys and everything, and they might make more money, whatever. Like, the excuses. And again, I'm not going to retrospectively say that everything in the G1 when it was 2 blocks of 10 was great and excellent and perfect, because it wasn't. And we had our stinky blocks and stinky years and dog days and everything. But I just feel that as the way that the roster is at the moment, they shouldn't be doing a 32.
I agree.
Man field, but yeah.
All right. So what happens in this match? What do you say? Who gets the win?
I think the winner of this match will be Jon Moxley.
Wow. I'm going to say Jack Perry pins Shota Umino.
Yeah. All right. I have to agree to differ on that one.
All right.
8th match, Never Openweight Championship match, Shingo Takagi against Evil. So Shingo wrestled a match against Kanemaru at Korakuen today, and the outcome of that match was that Kanemaru has now been declared the referee for this match. I don't know how why that's happened, but yeah, Kanemaru is the ref now, so the odds are stacked against Shingo. So I'm assuming that this is going to be part of the payoff to all the heavy focus on House of Torture, where Shingo and LIJ as a whole managed to defeat the dastardly cheating heels. And I'm saying Shingo wins the Never Openweight title. Will the match be any good? There have been moments, where Evil has just wrestled relatively clean. Like, do you remember he had was it a Never Openweight match against Ishii a year or two ago, where the closing stretch, like the last 5 minutes, they just wrestled it clean.
A year or two ago.
I can't be specific about that.
Well, I'm just saying. We don't have to go back fucking a week, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year or two ago. Okay. All right.
I think that would make this match pop if we front load all of the interference and shit, because we know it's happening. It is coming, but front load that, and then just like the last 5 minutes of this match, just wrestle it clean. That would be really cool, and I don't think it would damage the the aura of House of Torture. I just think it would be cool.
Yeah, I'm still my head's still exploding over the guest referee shit. It's crazy. 2 beefy guys who, again, if I'm going to put Evil in a match, this would probably be top 3 opponents that I think this could work. And you're right. Will there be shithousery? Yes. But you're right. If they do front load it and let them go for the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, I don't think anybody would bitch and moan. I would love to see Shingo win it. I don't think he does. I think Evil wins. If you're right in the sense that when they do the shithousery, is really going to depend on people's moods and feelings when the final bell rings. Like if it's late and it's just constant fucking shenanigans, this could be terrible. Here's the thing though. Like, you're right, the odds being stacked against Shingo, right? Like, it just screams the obvious. Oh, he's going to get fucked over. So it kind of makes me think the opposite, you know? So I'm going to hold out hope and say, okay, within the first 10 minutes of this match is where the majority of the fucking nonsense will occur. And then it picks up from there. If they decide to go opposite, this could fall apart real quick.
Main event, ninth match, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Champion Tetsuya Naito defending against the challenger and fellow LIJ stablemate Yota Tsuji. I think this will be really great. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. This is exactly the sort of main event I want to see New Japan booking. I'll be very interested to see what the crowd response is to this, whether they cheer more for Naito or Yota. So that is one thing I'm intrigued about hearing. Slight concern about if they get a bit too cute and ambitious with the sequences about it falling apart, because I hate to say it, but I do have those worries about Naito going forward. But no problems with it otherwise. I think there's a pretty high ceiling on this. It could be tremendous fun. Do I see a title change? I don't. Does that hurt Yota if he loses and then just goes back to being a guy in LIJ? Possibly. I don't think so. I think if he has like a brilliant match and everyone enjoys it and he comes really close, then there is value to that. There is upside in that. But I think the follow-up to that will be very crucial for Tsuji. I think you can't just have him lose and then just like disappear for months. I think you ideally want to pivot into something interesting for him. Maybe going after one of the other titles, maybe the global title or something. I don't know. He has been saying a lot of words in his interviews before the match. He's sort of done the any percent speed run of guys saying shit in New Japan interviews. He's going to bring back the V4 title. He wants to wrestle Nakamura for the Intercontinental belt. He wants to wrestle Shibata. He's just been saying a lot of stuff that makes you think, okay, yeah, you're definitely losing this match. Yeah. So yes, he says lots of stuff. So he's not going to win, but the comparisons there with Nakamura are interesting and eyebrow raising. Not that I think he's going to wrestle him. The Shibata one might be one to keep an eye on, because if what we hear is correct, it was Obari who was one of the main obstacles to Shibata wrestling in New Japan. So, maybe we get him coming back and wrestling some more matches. Who knows? But I'm not going to hold my breath for that. But anyway, I think there are some interesting parallels with Tsuji and Nakamura. So I think that would be an interesting direction for him to go if he does pursue the white title at some point. Because I don't think he is ready for the world title just yet. But glad to see him in this big spot at the very least. Derek says, Tanahashi's recently made comment in other words saying he'd like to see a rocket strapped to Yota Tsuji. I don't think he actually said that. I think that was mistranslated. I think it was something like a former employer saying something to that effect rather than Tanahashi saying it. Mostly Wrestling says, what are Tsuji's chances? So Damon, over to you. What do you think of this main event?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people have it circled, right? Like you want to see Yota Tsuji in a big spotlight match and deliver, right? I feel like this is if this is great, like I think people's confidence moving forward this year is going to be boosted greatly. And that really is the most important thing. I don't need him to win the title for that to happen. I need for him to have just a fucking really good match. Like a great match would be ideal. Because that will give a lot of people confidence moving forward, him included, and the company probably included. So that's what I'm looking for. Like that to me would mean more than him just winning the title. I don't think he wins the title. And again, I think Chicago might play a factor in that. I do. I think it's very important for the fan base, the company, the wrestlers on the show, the energy, the buzz, the feeling about New Japan, that this match deliver in a big way. Because if it doesn't, what we're going to hear is, and what's going to be said is, well, they invested a lot into this dude, and is this a waste of time? Do we pivot to plan B, plan C, whatever? Do I think it will be bad? I don't. Do I think it will be good? At least good. Do I think it will be great? Yeah. I'm going to say yeah. These guys know each other pretty well. These guys, I'm going to say, can work together pretty well. They have to take it to another level, though. I worry about Naito just on wonky legs and all the injuries and all the fucking what everybody talks about. Can he pull?
He should stop doing the Destino.
I really think so too. I think it's just a move that just requires a ton of balance and a lot of working together to pull it off. And it like of any move that can get just sloppy as fuck, like that can be when they start doing the fucking reversals and all that nonsense. I don't have any confidence in it being great, though, Joel. That's my biggest fucking problem. I want to sit here and say, this will be great. Like, I want to. I just need... you know what I need? I need this match to make me say future matches will be great. Like, I need to see it from him. And I just... Not that I'm saying that he can't. And I'm not saying that there's no shot of it. There definitely is. I just need to see it with my two eyes. Again, until that happens, and again, we had glimpses of it. New Japan Cup, like this is a bigger match. I'm sorry, it is. He's got to deliver. He's got to deliver, and that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, but for everyone's confidence, they both got to deliver. And I don't know if I can sit here and definitively say, yep, that's going to happen. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be at least good. I don't know if I'm ready to sit here and say, this is going to knock her socks off.
Yeah, I've seen too many, and again, I'm not saying he was at fault for all of these, but I've seen too many big Naito main events fall apart in the more intricate sequences for me to have any real confidence that this is going to be, the stars match. But, does it need to be that? I'd like it to be that, but doesn't necessarily need to. But
no.
Yeah, a lot of variables here. I mean, I'd be interested to see if there's any sort of developments in the LIJ dynamics and again, just how the crowd dynamics play out, because we've seen with Naito against Shota. Was it in the New Beginning last year where just the dynamics were all off and ended up not really doing Shota any favours? So I think that is something to keep an eye on in this match.
This crowd, like there's a lot dependent on this crowd too. Like this crowd could make this match. You know, if they're going batshit crazy, and why wouldn't they? Right? If given the opportunity, like if they're sitting on their fucking hands, this could be scary. But if they're into it, like and they're fucking they're and Naito and Yota Tsuji are delivering in the ring and giving the fans there in attendance a reason to be invested. That could put it over the top. But if they're sitting on their fucking hands, that's going to be frightening. I don't think that'll happen though. But do you think this will be great?
Like a cage match, a Stars prediction. I think I would be happy if this kind of landed in the 4.25 vicinity.
I'm looking for something a little bit more, just a smidge more, just a little bit more. Again, we're coming off of fucking time. Ospreay, Okada. That was money. Pardon the pun. It was Money in the Bank. And I'm not saying we need. Yeah, I am saying that we need. I would love it. I would love it to just fucking knock our socks off. We'll see.
Unfortunately, I think I may have given myself hiccups.
Oh,
so,
oh my God! There it is.
Definitely have.
All right. Do you want me to do the closing bit?
Oh, there's some stuff I need to plug before we go.
I can plug.
Do you want to do questions, or should we wrap it up?
You got the hiccups. How are you gonna get through it?
I suppose it depends how long the gap is between each hiccup.
Give me the question.
Multiverse A says, with such an incredibly jam-packed next few days, what can New Japan do to stand out and not let Sakura Genesis not get lost in the shuffle?
We just talked about it. That main event's got to be killer. That multi-man junior match, that would be great if it were, if that was fantastic. Yeah, they just need to put on a fucking New Japan Pro Wrestling show, right? And hopefully get that buzz. Yeah, there's a lot going on this weekend, and aside from this show, there's no real New Japan representation. There's Stardom representation, but okay, we got Matt Riddle and we got good old Ziggy. That's the best thing they can do. In my eyes, that's the best thing they can do is just have a fucking banger of a main event.
Okay. I'm going to save these questions for later. Right. I need to plug a NJPW fan meetup.
Oh.
So, details for this are as follows. So, it's an informal fan meetup, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is on April 12th on the 22nd floor of the Hilton Garden in Chicago, McCormick Place. So you can meet up with fellow NJPW fans there, and our friends from Keeping It Strong Style will be there. So I'll repeat that. This is 4 p.m. on April 12th, 22nd floor of the Hilton Garden in Chicago, McCormick Place.
Fancy.
NJPW fan meetup before Windy City Riot.
Go get them, Keeping It Strong Style. Go get them. Yeah, they're always fun. They're always fun. So, yeah, go out. If you're going to the show, that may be a fun time. That might be a fun time. Would be a fun time. Get to meet some people, have a couple brews. Love it. Love it. And again, if you're going to any of these nonsense shows in Philly, you'll see me. Come say hi.
I also agreed I would read this out for a friend of the show, John Enright, who often fills in on the Super Dad cast. So This April, it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Sexual assault is a serious issue that affects millions of people across the country. It can happen to anyone, regardless of gender, age, race, or sexual orientation. But you are not alone. There are people who care and want to help. During Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we can all work together to raise awareness, educate ourselves and others, and create safer communities. Here are some ways you can get involved, learn more about sexual assault and what constitutes consent, believe survivors when they come forward, support organisations that provide resources and care to survivors. Together, we can build a future free from sexual violence. Visit National Sexual Violence Resource Centre, www.nsvrc.org/node, or call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800 656 HOPE for more information and resources. John adds also April 11th is Wear Teal Day. It's the colour for the month, and wearing teal on that day shows support for those who have been abused. So thank you for that, John, and I hope that is useful for people to listen to and get. Right, that is it. I can't think of a way to segue that into the closing, so I'm just going to go straight ahead. redcircle.com/shows/super-j- I was just worried I was going to hiccup in the middle of it, and I didn't.
You did very well.
A sneeze in the background.
No, you did good.
We could write that out. ProWrestlingTees.com/super-j- for our t-shirts. Editor Dan, thank you. He's on Twitter at LousyHero219. You can follow us on Twitter at the Super J-Cast. Thank you everyone for listening, and goodbye.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I want to tell you all about my show, The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we do a thorough analysis on the biggest issues and trends within the pro wrestling industry. We talk a lot about pro wrestling media, we talk a lot about fan culture and wrestling's place within general pop culture, and we talk about the broader influences that are shaping the way we discuss and analyze the pro wrestling industry. We've had some of the brightest minds in the pro wrestling intelligentsia on the show, including WrestleNomics host Brandon Thurston, both Rich Craich and Joe Lanza from the Flagship Wrestling Podcast, Trevor Dame from the Through the Years podcast, and a whole lot more. This isn't a show for hot takes. It's not a show recapping the latest episode of television. This is a show focusing on the biggest topics in pro wrestling and doing a deep dive on the real stories behind the surface level analysis you might find elsewhere. The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, and we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a try. Thanks.